Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. Yes, I'm Miles here. I'm in the hot seat this evening. Ken's working on late, so he's out driving around the country somewhere. Packed show tonight we've got on for you. We've got our Swansea fan coming on, Ben. He's going to be talking all about Matt Grimes and Swansea and looking ahead to this Saturday's game. We've got Spot the Ball. We've also got information about Noel Whelan evening. We've got like stacked out, and how our Coventry City going to bounce and make it 4 wins in the league on the trot and break this 75-year voodoo in Swansea. Let's wait and see. Let's see what happens, and let's see what we can talk about this evening. And is there any more rumours flying about any more signings or outgoings? We'll find that out this evening. Right then, let's get the show on the go. Let's bring in Vicky. Good evening, Vicky. You're on mute, Vic. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Good evening, Mario. What's going on?
All good. Good evening, Claudia.
I'm definitely not on mute. Good evening.
And let's bring in Ben. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening. How are you? Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, really good. Thank you. Just give your channel a plug while you're on, first of all.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm part of the Swanscast podcast. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify, and probably some decent Matt Grimes content on there, especially from a couple of months ago, if you want to go back and backtrack, have a little learn.
Brilliant. Well, we'll have a little nose at that. We sure will. Now, listen, before we get on to it, I've got a couple of videos I want to play. This one is some comments of some Swansea fans about Matt Grimes.
No contingency plan for this. There is
some of the fans have had to say, and this is what the manager had to say.
Here, and it was for him and his family made a decision that another option was better for him for their own reasons, and we were not able to convince him. Look, I don't know the ins and outs of the personal terms. I don't think it'd be hard up for a couple of quid, but I don't know the ins and outs. Whether or not we were able to match the offer in like financial terms, and whether there's other factors in there that are very personal to him, I can't talk too much on that.
And there you go. That's the thoughts of some fans and also the manager. Right then, before we talk about the game, Ben, it's obviously what we're going to talk about first. Matt Grimes, I mean, what has made him such an important player for Swansea, and all of a sudden this U-turn and he's coming to Coventry?
So since relegation, we've been down in the Championship for 7 years. We've had Graham Potter as manager, Steve Cooper as manager, Russell Martin as manager, Luke Williams as manager, a brief spell of Michael Duff, but at least less said about that the better. But everyone I just mentioned, every single Swansea City team has been built around Matt Grimes. He is Mr. Swansea City, a decade at the club, but the last 7 years really, where he has played over 40 games a season. I think it's 3 of the last 5 seasons. As I said, the mid, he's played 90 minutes of all 46 games. It's unheard of numbers, to be honest. Doesn't get injured, doesn't get suspended. When he plays well, the team plays well. He's such a important part of what we do. We don't know what Swansea City at this division looks like without Matt Grimes in the team. So to suddenly lose him a day, well, it's going to be deadline day by the time it's done. Going to lose him on the last day of a January window in a season where we're plummeting down the table at faster rates after the whole Luke Williams to West Brom saga, which derailed our season, if we're truthful. It's doomsday. As I mentioned to you just before the pod started, it's probably, well, not probably, it is the biggest loss of a player in the last decade, quite easily. Probably going back to the Premier League, even when we lost Boney, Sigurdsson, big players like this is different. It really is.
I mean, we've seen stats about him. I mean, these are his stats this season. Where are they gone? Oh, there they are. I mean, his stats this season are, well, they're unbelievable, to be honest with you. You've got, 2,887 touches, first in the league, touches in the middle third, first in the league, carrying distance, first in the league, carries the ball, first in the league, passes received first, passes completed first, and passes into the final third first. I mean, it says it all there, doesn't it? He is, a quality player, and Swansea can't really afford to lose a player like that at the moment, can you?
I mean, we're so reliant on him. It's partly because of the way we play. I think we have lots and lots of the ball, and one of the biggest issues with Swansea is we don't do much with it. Quite often, we'll have 70% of the possession, but we'll have less shots and less shots on target than the opposition. So the stats are boosted a bit because Matt Grimes, when we're in defence, he'll drop in between the centre-backs and play out. When we move into midfield, he'll be the deepest in midfield and help spray the ball out wide and circulate it. On some occasions, even when we're trying to break down a low block, he'll be sitting near the edge of the box trying to play that pinnacle pass. He is involved everywhere on the pitch in both attack and defence. So for 3.5 million, supposedly, Exeter, who we bought him from a long time ago, may have a small sell-on clause, but that remains to be seen. I understand he's 29, but honestly, 2.5 years in this deal, I think if you ask any Swansea fan, we would have preferred to see him leave on a free in 2027 than accept what is, in our opinion, pittance for him, if we're honest, which, again, I know his age comes into it. I know it's not a Premier League club buying him, but 3.5 million, you can't go out and replace him for that money. You struggle at 10 million. He's that important to us.
Yeah, I mean, we've struggled to find. I mean, I know Hamer is slightly different to Grimes, but we've struggled to replace him since he left a couple of seasons ago. I mean, Matt Grimes, I mean, what you've just mentioned about how he will play and how he can sweep up and he can move the ball around. How do you think he will fare playing for the Sky Blues? Do you think he'll fit in?
I'm unfamiliar about what your team looks like under Lampard now. I don't know if there's been a bit of a tactical switch or a switch in styles. I know you're a team that, correct me if I'm wrong, under Mark Robbins, you'd play the ball very quickly. I don't think you're like Swansea in terms of the slow build-up play. We're a bit more one-dimensional than you in that regard, I guess. But he does give you a different option in terms of how you want to play football. I think everything I've mentioned just now, he's important in every build-up phase that we have. So for Coventry now, you've obviously got attacking options galore. You've probably got a little bit more pace out wide, and you've probably got more put together tactical setup, to be honest. So he should slot straight in. It may be a little bit different. He's used to being worshipped here. I don't think he's ever had to, since his Leeds loan spell, had to go to a different club really and earn respect. He may have to do that here, and he's coming with a lot of hype. But yeah, he's got a brilliant guide in Frank Lampard in terms of what's expected of him as a centre mid. Very different type of centre mid, don't get me wrong. But what you're going to notice from him immediately is every time he receives the ball, he'll look to go forward. He will go sideways and backwards, but one stat I'm not sure you did have there, over the last 6-7 years, he's played more progressive passes, meaning passes forward, than any player in the league. It's not just sideways and backwards like you'll hear some people say. He is a positive player, and he will keep the tempo moving if there is a tempo to be had. So brilliant player to have. Obviously, you're not going to have a sell-on value with him, but at that price, I don't really think you care. I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I thought. I mean, when I heard the money, I thought, when 29 years of age, spending 3.5 million on a player rising to 4 was maybe a little bit on the high side, but he's still got 2.5 years left on his contract, so you're going to be paying that sort of money, aren't we? So it's understandable. I mean, how did Grimes influence the team, not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well?
Well, yeah, he's obviously, I'm not behind the scenes, but by all accounts, he seems to be a leader in the dressing room. He wouldn't be captain if not. Always speaks very well. I think for Swansea City fans in particular, a derby against Cardiff's always important. He'd always rally the troops and get us up for that. He'd always be calmness personified as well, though one criticism he'd get is that in instances where there's a 50-50, he's going flying in on the pitch and you want to get on the refs back a bit, he was maybe a little bit too calm. But that's because he's a level-headed person, and that's it's a good personality to have in the dressing room. I read something, I don't know how true it is, maybe you're lacking a leader or two at Coventry. So a personality like Matt Grimes, he's definitely something that's going to help in that area. That goes without saying. yeah, it's sadness more than anything I'm feeling right now. Sadness, confusion, because from a Swansea perspective, yes, he's asked to leave, but there's been no disrespect to Coventry. There's been clubs bigger than Coventry, or in better positions at least, who have come in the past few years. Fulham being one when they were about to get promoted, and we were asking 7 million at the time. I know he's a couple of years younger, so to see him leave now with a bigger contract, and in January so late is confusing. Like, I think an article came out earlier. He said goodbye at the training ground. Only 3 Swansea players said goodbye to him, supposedly, which suggests there's been a bit of a bust up or falling out, and people aren't happy. So there's definitely a story to be had. Whether we'll hear it at some point, I don't know. But yeah, he is a good personality, regardless of whatever's happened. But it is just the timing of it, and it's come so suddenly that's shocked a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, and your manager doesn't seem very happy about it at all, does he? He's very frustrated. Do you think there's something gone on there?
By all accounts, they seem to have a good relationship. I don't think there's any suggestion they've fallen out. I think it seems to partly be money. I know Coventry are good payers, but he was the biggest earner at Swansea on roughly 20k a week. If you've offered him 30, then I'm sure that's obviously a massive boost for him. But then Fulham, in the years gone by, would have offered him more. So it's what makes a strange timing. He probably knows Swansea's a bit of a sinking ship at the minute, is the truth of it. Our season has gone off a cliff. But, as recently as a few weeks ago, our new captain, Ben Gabango, signed a new deal. Harry Darling, our other centre-back, was about to sign on. So things have gone south really quickly for whatever reason, part of that being the managerial situation. But to see him jump now, it's unexpected, because he's just started a new family in Swansea. He's been here for 10 years, club captain. We did a podcast 2 months ago talking about how if he carries on his 40-odd appearances a season, he'd break the Swansea City League appearance record. It's a bit like Barry Bannon in the respect that he's not like a high-paced runner, is he? So I was kind of expecting him to still be in our midfield if we were in the Championship when he's 35, 36, because he never gets injured. He should have the legs for it. So yeah, with all due respect to Coventry as well, I think I may have put a tweet out. Obviously, I actually predicted you to finish second this season, so you're well underperforming where I thought you'd be. But currently, you're not in the top 6, and I know you've got a bit of money, but I was looking at clubs in the top 6 and wondering why is nobody rivaling you for him. Age may be a factor, the strength in the midfield in the top 6 maybe also being a factor, but the factor seems to be a one-horse race. Even foreign interest, I wouldn't have put it past him, because he's that good a player, and everyone knows he's that good a player. So, yeah, it's a bit of a topsy-turvy situation. I think everyone's shocked it's happened.
Yeah. I mean, we were shocked when Fads went. So, and he wasn't here that long, but we were well shocked. But I mean, Claudia and I were talking earlier on. We were saying that it's probably a good job that we've jumped in now to get him, instead of waiting for the summer. For the 3 teams that are coming down from the Premier League would have probably snapped him up. Like you said about Fulham, we're interested in him. I think was that when they were in the Championship as well, and pushing to go. Yeah, so it's probably a good time for us to go after Grimes. I mean, do you think this is going to have a massive impact on not just the rest of the season, but this Saturday's game? There's a lot of unrest in the camp.
I mean, we would set for a toxic atmosphere anyway if Grimes starts lining up against us at home. I can't predict what the atmosphere is going to be like, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's just going to be numbness, anger. Our attendance has been shocking recently, so whether that will sort of lessen the noise anyway, I don't know. I don't know. It's not really a thought that anyone had ever had, to be honest. Grimes lining up against Swansea, especially at home, is add to it. The Swansea camp seem to be very frustrated and annoyed at Grimes. So, if there's any 50-50s, I'd expect him to brace himself, put it that way, particularly if Harry Gabango are on the pitch. Gabango, especially as captain, he may look to, set an example. I'm not sure. I'm not saying they're going to go out and hurt him, but they'll be happy if he has a bad game, put it that way.
Well, we've heard things coming out of the camp. We've heard is that he won't be playing Saturday. He doesn't want to play against you on Saturday. So that's what we're hearing that's coming out of the camp tonight. So you know, your fans might be okay and not have to boo him. So you know, he might not even be travelling down. So he might be just trying to settle in up here over the weekend. But yeah, so you shouldn't have to worry about that, I don't think. And do you believe? I mean, you've just brought in Ben Cabango. Do you think he's a suitable replacement for him?
As captain, he's young, so I think the reason we've chosen him is just long term. He's just signed a new deal, as I mentioned. Obviously, we got Kyle Norton and Joe Allen here, and the more obvious choices, but fitness and age mean they don't get on the pitch regularly. So we need to have a captain who's first choice, which Ben Cabango obviously is, because it's not only his ability, but we have 3 centre backs, one of which is on loan, the other of which is Harry Darling, who as it stands is leaving on a free in the summer. So it makes perfect sense to make him captain. Somebody who's very passionate about the club. I don't know what he's like as a personality, I'll be honest. I don't know him personally, and I've never read too much about him. Only time will tell. I get the feeling we're going to see a much more aggressive Swansea City captain than Ben Cabango, though, and I mean that on the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, and what are your thoughts on your manager's playing style and tactics since he's come in and, you know, took the reins?
Go back just before New Year, so around Boxing Day, we'd beaten Luton, we'd beat QPR, both the first probably 90-minute performances of the season. And what I mean by that is from start to finish, we were the better team and they were deserved, convincing wins, even if the scoreline against Luton was pretty close. Then the saga with West Brom happened and we've capitulated. I think we've conceded something stupid like 16 goals and scored 2 or 3 since that saga began. As a season on a whole, we're quite one-dimensional, to be honest. There's a stupid stat. It's like we've scored the most. I think it's the second most goals in the first half of championship games in the league. And keep in mind, we're in 17th, so that's quite a stat in itself. But then second half, we've scored the lowest, 24th. We rank for goals in the second half. So basically, if you go in against Swansea City 1-0 down to half-time, don't panic. If you go in at 0-0 or you're winning, you're basically guaranteed a win. It's genuinely that bad. Second half, we just fall to bits every single time. It's a psychological thing at this point. There's no explanation for it other than, you know, we don't have a deep squad. We have a good start in 11, but we don't have the players to come off the bench. But it's got to the point now where we're conceding regularly between the 45th and the 60th minute before subs would even happen. So it's not an excuse anymore. Once teams figure out how they're going to break us down on the day, we don't change how we play in response. So once you crack the code, that's it. You're going to win the game.
Yeah, but we've got to break that 75-year voodoo yet, Ben.
If there's a time to do it, it's now. I wasn't aware of it until you said. It's quite a stat, to be honest. 75 years when you consider Swansea and Coventry have both spent a lot of time in the EFL. So the fact, you know, we would have played many times in 75 years, I presume.
Yeah. Well, we get the stat. I think Claudio got the stats for us there, which he'll tell us in just a sec. And I know you've got to shoot off very shortly. Just a couple of more things, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, who have we really got to look out for this weekend? You know, in your team, who is, you know, now Matt's gone, who will be the standout player that we've got to be really careful of?
Thankfully for us, we still have a competent midfielder in Gonzalo Franco, probably our player of the season so far, signing from Portugal. Top tier in Portugal, actually. I think he had most tackles, second most interceptions in the top flight last year in Portugal, which is quite a stat. It's surprising we managed to get him, to be honest. I think he's 23 years of age, got him on a 4-year deal. Only small, 5'7", but quite a robust player. Not got a massive top speed, but got brilliant acceleration. He breaks things up in midfield beautifully for us. Not to say he's like Kante, but that's basically the biggest comparison to him I can make for, you know, recognizable type of midfielder. In terms of attacking threat, very little is the truth of it. Liam Cullen is our top scorer of the season. He went on a good spell in November, but the goals have dried up for the most part recently. You'll see him dropping into the hole, more like a number 10 position. That's probably his most likely position to score from, arriving late into the box. Josh Tyman then is probably our best attacking threat at left back, truth be told. Him and Josh Key, they invert into midfield a lot. Is how we concede most of our goals, to be honest. You know, again, dispossessed cheaply. But if we do play through you, they can break quickly and hurt you from out wide, coming in, Tyman in particular. So, yeah, it's a bit weird to say our biggest attacking threat is our left back, but there we are.
It's not actually, because we're scoring goals from all over the park at the moment. You know, we've got defenders, we've got wing backs scoring, we've got midfielders, and the odd strikers putting one in, but not as many as we thought the strikers would do. So, you know, we're pretty lucky in that way. I mean, where do you think Swansea then going forwards this season? Where do you think you've got to improve and strengthen? Do you think there will be something happening between now and Monday?
There'll be signings. I don't know to what quality. I know we're signing, I forget his name, a quite highly rated Swedish player from the Danish league from Aalborg centre mid. But the catch is, the only way we could get that deal done is if we loan him back to his club until the summer. So it's like, well, good signing, but we could be in League One by the time you get to, you know what I mean? We're linked with a couple of other replacements. There was a centre mid from Peterborough, I believe, who would be seen as a Grimes replacement, but I don't know how much you know about Peterborough, but if they're selling anybody on deadline day, they're having your pants down. They don't sell unless they're getting double what a player's worth in that situation, as I'm sure you know, with, you know, Ivan Toney, Harrison Burrows, just to name a few. We need depth as well, is the truth of it. I think we don't have much attacking quality, but even numbers-wise, take a couple of players out through injury. Grimes, who would have been one of them, the depth isn't there. Only 2 real quality centre-backs, for example. We don't have an adequate backup left-back. We don't have a good enough starter at cam. The wingers, for the most part, haven't been there quality-wise. Our main 2 being Ji-sung and Ronald have a goal between them in the league. Bianchini having a few, but he primarily plays a number 9. So, yeah, we need additions all over, and I don't think we're going to get them, is the truth of it. So it's going to be a slog to get to the end of the season unscathed.
And yeah, I mean, I know you're just picking up on what you said about Peterborough. We know all about that because we signed Mason F1 Clark last season in January from Peterborough, and the contract was to loan him straight back. So we never got to see him until July, just before the season started. So we know what you mean about Peterborough there. They are a little bit like that, aren't they? And they do up their prices in the January window. And realistically, do you think you're going to survive? Where do you think you're going to finish?
If we do, it's going to be tight at this point. They always say you've got to have 3 teams in the league who are worse than you. I think Plymouth, especially after Morgan Whittaker's left, they're probably favourites to finish bottom, aren't they? Derby on really bad form, but under Paul Warne, you never know if they can turn it around. I'm looking at the rest of them then. Hull, I think, will come good. Stoke, I think, will come good. Luton, I think, have to come good at some point. They surely can't be that bad all year. Cardiff have come good, and then it's us. So you could easily be in that mix. Obviously, it's easy to forget. Go back only, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. There were people saying, oh, Swansea are outsiders for top 6. But that's how quickly the league changes. I never thought we were going to do that, but I didn't think we'd be 17th at the time of this recording. I thought we'd stay hovering around the 9th to 14th sort of range until the season peters out. But this worrying because this bad form has started with Matt Grimes on the side. As I mentioned, in the last 7 years, we don't know what we look like without Matt Grimes. He's been there throughout. So it could turn really nasty really quickly, particularly because the manager still, you could argue, has lost the dressing room a little bit, but remains to be seen, obviously.
Yeah, we had a slow start, as you know, to the season, and like you predicted, you thought we'd finish second. Our start to the season was really up and down, and we were hovering down in that bottom 3 and bottom 4, and we were on this show thinking, how do we turn this around? And all of a sudden things have just started turning themselves around. So been quite lucky. Right, then let's get some quick scores then before we go. Let's get yourself, Ben, let's get a prediction off you for Saturday.
3-0 Coventry.
3-0 Coventry. Blimey.
Yeah, we didn't watch the Norwich game, clearly.
No, we did. I did see the highlights. But you are at home, and we have got this 75-year cloud hanging over us. Vic?
I think that's the trouble, isn't it? In our minds, we're thinking, it doesn't matter how Swansea doing generally, we're thinking we just know what happens when we turn up there, and it's hard to see past that no matter what else is going on. But I'd be happy with like a 1-0. If we can get any sort of victory, I'd be delighted. So 1-0.
Okay. Claudio, we'll get your stats off you in just a sec. What do you reckon?
I reckon we're going to draw. I just think, we'll draw. 1-1.
1-1. Okay, I'm going to go with Vicky. I'm going to go for a sneaky 1-0. We'll get Steve's prediction later on. Claudio, just before Ben has to go because he's got to shoot off to another pod. What stats have we got there? Then what is the record?
Well, we've only played Swansea 39 times since 1915, but bizarrely, it's like a game of 2 hours. The first half of the century, we dominated, and since 1982, it's been terrible. So they've beaten us 13 times, I think. We've beaten them 12 times. We've drawn 13. So it's very close. But of course, 5 years, even I don't remember that one. That's one.
You sure? Are you sure? Ben, just before you let you go, we're going to do Spot the Ball. We do this every Thursday. Give us a guess, and you might win a prize tonight, and then we'll let you shoot off because I know you got another pod. So this is a picture from last week. This is Watford against Coventry, and Radoni is falling to the floor. Give us your guesses, guys. Claudio, where do you think the ball is?
Number one.
Number one. Vic?
Number 10.
Number 10, we'll get Steve's in a minute. Ben?
5.
5. Okay, excellent. So get your guesses in, guys. You can win a prize this evening. We'll get Steve guessing in just a sec. Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to come on today. We really appreciate it. And best of luck for the rest of the season. Let's hope you stay up. And we're sorry we've gone and snatched probably your best player off you. But as I say, just keep smiling, and hopefully you'll just stay at that relegation zone. You'll push up the table a little bit more with a few signings.
Oh, thanks very much, guys. Really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed. Take care, mate.
In a bit. Bye.
Bye. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's the views of a Swansea fan, Ben, and he's basically telling us all about Matt Grimes. And if you want to find Ben and his podcast and everything, you can head over to the Swans the Swans Cast podcast media. So that's Swans Cast Media, and that's the Swans Cast podcast. So you can get all the details on there for them. You can find them on Twitter, also on Spotify as well. Right then, let's get Stephen. Good evening, Steve, all the way from Wales. You're on mute. Hold on. He's on mute. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, and what a great bloke Ben was. Excellent.
Brilliant. Yeah, such short notice to come on as well, bless him. So really appreciate it. Steve, did you see Spot the Ball then?
I did. I put 7 in the chat.
7 in the chat. Okay, right. So you're number 7. Okay, and give us a score for Saturday.
I'm with Claudio. Everything points to a Cov win. They're in disarray, lost their best player. We've won 3 on the trot in the league. It's going to be a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay, brilliant. Well, I'll put that down. I've made a note of that. Right, without further ado, Claudio, we've got 116 messages to start off with.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Right, I'll put some on the screen and some I'll just read out to be quicker, won't it? Gar87, has it been officially announced yet? Not seen anything. Well, he's done the medical, and they're probably waiting for 12 o'clock tomorrow, which means he won't play on Saturday. I think that's what they're trying to do, to register after 12 o'clock tomorrow. Not that we should play him anyway, because that'd be too dangerous, I think. Paul Cuttiford, at last, someone through the door to perk things up a bit. Ian Small, evening all. Matt would be a great addition. Sorry, Ben. And Wayne Litwood, evening all. Packed show tonight discussing all the transfers. What a window it's been. Doug King's millions with a smiley face. I think he's taking a bit there. Doug Boland says, evening all. One less blue tracksuit to pay for.
Yes, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, Reece Cart.
Aaron Thomas reckons Swansea are going to drag their heels until after midday tomorrow. I think that's maybe a gentleman's agreement anyway. To be honest, I just would not want him playing on Saturday. He's missed 4 games in 6 seasons, whatever. He'll be missing a few more if I think he plays on Saturday. Realms of possibility going to be a little awkward on Saturday. Might even get a pitch invasion. I've seen on socials that some of the Swansea fans are going to boycott. They're not going apparently. I don't. If you've seen anything, Steve, and your neck of the woods.
No, just the comments after the Welsh derby, really, that even the manager said they were toothless, and there was a melee at the end of the game, and he said that was the only fight they showed in the whole, 90 minutes. So even the manager's slagging them off at the moment, but no, I hadn't heard that.
Okay. Lee Dan, hi guys, have to eat humble pies. I believe Ricky was right about Sims. I think it means Vicky. Played with another up front. He's going to bang in lots of goals very soon. Well spotted, Vicky. Dave McGee, MG's new leader, attacking midfield and aggression. I hope it works out. Brian Kavanagh, yes, mentioning parking available at Swansea for this weekend's game. Big parking if you go on their website. We'll put the poster up in a bit. There we go. That's the home parking, but if you go on the website, they do away parking as well.
He still hasn't sent me a new picture without the wasps on it. Thebigparking.co.uk. Head over to there and you can book your Swansea parking. And it's a nice little walk just round the corner from the ground.
Paul Stratton, glad he's not playing against us on Saturday. Chance of breaking the hoodoo at last. Yeah, he never gives the ball, does he, when he's playing? Aaron Thomas, if Jamie Patterson signs, we will be a Swansea second team with Jake, Joel, Matt, and Jamie. That's true, isn't it?
It is. I can't see Patterson sign. I can't see that happening. Not if we're bringing in Grimes. I can't see us signing Patterson.
No, Doug Bolam, not only has Claudio muted himself, he's also deleted himself. Yeah, just had some issues. I accidentally turned the boiler off early and I thought it was a major breakdown. I was about to rip the place apart and then I realised I've knocked the switch off. And for some reason, the laptop had a meltdown for a couple of seconds, but it's all right now. We're all okay. James Hollyoak thinks it's a bargain at that price. I think it is, actually. Gavin Collins, hi all. Fantastic signing. When it eventually happens, Hames' replacement at last. Feels good to be taking another team's best player for a change. We've had countless years of this happening to us. I'd also make him captain due to his quality and experience in this division. We are pretty much signing the best player in this league for that position. And I still can't believe some fans just don't understand that. I just don't get it. What? Here we go.
There's his stats again. Touches, just unbelievable.
I put that up and somebody went, is that just for Swansea? Well, obviously not. That's in the Championship. I do wonder. It's a great, and to be honest, it is a great signing. And if it doesn't work out, it won't be because of Matt Grimes. It'll be because of other factors in our team not doing what they should be doing to support him as a player. Feel sorry for Jamie Allen, says Paul Stratton now, as I would think Matt Grimes starts. Well, he should do, shouldn't he? Glenn says, we've signed one of the best Championship midfielders of the last decade. I think I'll go along with that, Glenn. Rich T, Grimes looks like a great signing when it happens. Not that I want them to, but why hasn't a richer team come in for him? Don't know. I mean, you never know these things, do you? It's right time. I know there's a couple of players at our club are really big friends with Matt Grimes, so that could have been a factor in this move as well. So that might have something to do with it. I would say it had a lot to do with it. Sheep will get sold in the summer, and Eccles, says James Hollyoak. Dark farts. Has it even been confirmed yet? I haven't seen an official statement as of yet. No, it's happening. It
is happening.
This is Wayne Littlewood. Did he just say we played fast under Mark Robbins? We were so slow under Mark Robbins this season. Took us 90 minutes to do a single attack. Oh dear.
I think he's on about before, wasn't he? When we were playing, we got to the playoffs and stuff. I think that's what he was on about.
Geez, it's one player. We've won our last 4 games. Where does he fit in? Swansea have been poor this season, whereas Lamppost has turned it around with second choice players due to injuries. Well, look, Have a word with him, Miles.
Oh God.
He's miles better than Jamie Allen. Just Jamie Allen's he's had 2 or 3 decent games. You know, this guy is miles, and his stats says it all. The guy's never injured. He's never injured. He's always playing. It's a massive, massive signing for us, I think. Nation Radio Coventry don't think Swansea want him to play against them Saturday, so probably be announced tomorrow. Surprised, Dave McGee says. He says, I'm surprised Sheffield United didn't get Matt Grimes. Surprised Sheffield United didn't get MGs there, like a Dyson vacuum cleaner taking all the transfers.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you say that, but have, like Ben just said, have those teams in the top 6 got enough midfielders and enough depth in their teams to not have to buy Matt Grimes? So it's enabled us to sneak in and get him.
Yeah, and I think what you said earlier, Miles, about doing it now, because I think if we'd have waited till the summer, which he obviously wants to move, something's happened. He just wants to get out of Swansea. So if you wait till the summer, you got teams who have got more money than us will just pay silly money just to get him, and they might probably not use him as much either.
No.
Dan says, evening from Blackpool, my early birthday present was a 3-course meal at the Etihad. What?
Brilliant. Happy birthday, Dan. That's brilliant. I hope you didn't get caught in that fire. You see the fire last night?
Oh yeah. Dark farts. It was Christian Horner's investment that has paid for Matt Grimes then. The deck isn't half bad at the moment with our current squad. So a nice addition. We were joking, weren't we, saying that about Christian, when we we're going to sign some players, and we were saying, weren't we, that waiting for the check to clear from Mr. Horner at the weekend. I think they've used some of the Casey Palmer money, which is about £1 million, and that's gone towards a deal. So they won't pay it all in one go anyway, will they? They're not going to give them $3.5 million in one go.
No. Before you carry on, Claudio, Steve, have you heard any news while you've been at work this week talking about Matt Grimes with your fellow Cardiff and Swansea fans down there in good old South Wales?
Yeah, I sit next to a Cardiff season ticket holder, and they're absolutely rubbing their hands. You know, they think Swansea are sinking like a submarine, you know, and the best players go in. They just think it's hilarious. You know, obviously the Welsh derby was massive, you know, losing 3-0, and it was a bad 3-0. You know, they were pretty much outplayed second half, especially. And the manager, like I said, he said that they had no fight. And with all the rumours about Luke Williams as well, the previous weeks, going to West Brom, etc., they're in disarray. And I've got to say, me and Tom said at the start of the season that we think the Swansea slide has been like 5 years. Every year we've played them. All right, we started really badly because they totally outplayed us the first year or two. But every year we've got better and better. And we probably should have nicked the win away last year, ended up 1-1. We were still celebrating and Jerry Yates scored. Probably should have done better. So I've got to say, and I'm talking to my wife's brother-in-law, who's a big Jack fan, he actually predicted us for top 6. And I think what's happened is they did really well first half of the season, totally surprised me. We did really badly first half of the season, which totally surprised me. And we've passed each other. We're on the up, they're going down. But I agree with Claudio. You know, everything points to a Cov win this weekend. But that voodoo is strong, and it's you know, like Deepdale, it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, Vicky, Steve's just knocked the nail on the head there. It's like Deepdale.
So you just not knowing what's going to happen, and you go with a bit of hope, thinking, oh, maybe this is the year. But then it's just the same, isn't it? Doesn't matter how well we're playing. I mean, even in our playoff final season, we couldn't do it that season with those players. So I mean, it's just it's a proper voodoo, isn't it?
I do think though, it's a bit like if when Hamer left after the Leicester game, and the Wimbledon game was after that, wasn't it? And when you take your best player out of your squad, you're going to be a bit deflated as a club.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what the impact is on Swansea on Saturday, because someone's got to fill that role in. No one's filled it for 10 years, how many years he's been there. He's played that role. So someone's got to step in there, which would be interesting.
Well,
So
you see,
if he's never injured as well, it's not even like there's someone that's covered. Like with Sheaf, someone has to cover Sheaf because he's always injured. So you got like somebody that's at least getting some experience because he's always playing. They're not even getting that, are they? Really?
I mean, you see it though when Casey Palmer left. Our team was a little bit deflated. I know he's not, a lot of people were saying that they don't think we missed him or anything like that. But I think that when Casey left, those first few games after he left, we did look a little bit flat, didn't we?
Yeah, well, they've got friendships in clubs, haven't you, in teams? And there's a bit of bonding going on. So it'd be interesting. I mean, I'm just seeing here, Dan says that Swansea manager is getting death threats, which is absolutely madness. Mecca Ishida says, really pleased with the signing of Grimes, exactly what we need. That hole from the departure of Hamer has finally been filled onwards and upwards. Aaron Thomas still thinks Swansea will outplay us on Saturday. But will they? Because he's the guy who starts it off. This is what I'm saying. It'd be interesting to see now. Come on, Aaron. Positive, says Dave McGee. 2-0 to Cov. Lee Beckett, we did change Peterborough We did charge Peter a £1 million loan fee for that 6 months. Did we? I don't know. Don't know actually.
I've never first we've heard yet. Okay.
Wayne Littlewood's gone for it's classic, isn't he? He reckons we're going to lose 3-0. We've never won there. It's Preston fixture all over.
Well, I'm doing a wedding fair at Wayne's thing next week. I might cancel it now with his negativity.
Lee Beckett says, can we do a deal on the scoreline now, please, Ben? Safe travelling. Mentioned there was another Grimes. Of course, Ashley Grimes was absolutely useless. I don't care what people think. Ashley Grimes, 83 to 84, 32 appearances, 1 goal. He was terrible. Got some. Anybody old enough to? He was awful. I think he came to us from Man United, and then he went to Luton after us. Gary Meffin, love this show. Gary from Vancouver. Fantastic. All the way from Canada.
Brilliant. Hello. That's where your mate's from, Canada.
Yeah, he's Alberta, so he's not far from. Well, I say not far. It's far. It's far for us, but it's not far Canada-wise. Right, I've got loads of guesses for the spot the ball.
Brilliant, excellent.
Dave McGee says, "Do you think Chelsea will give us some loans? Currently, we are maximised on players in the registered squad. If he's come, that's 25 players. So unless somebody goes, I don't know if that 25 would that include Howley and Burrows and obviously Tavares are all on the. I mean,
something's got to give it."
What's going on there? Lee Dan, what a statement from Cop to get Grimes. Fair play to DK. Let's hope there's a couple of more quality signs to come in. Also, we can't not get away from the fact there's got to be a Frank Lampard factor involved here, surely. I don't think it's done with Mark Robbins here. I just got this feeling this is a Frank Lampard thing, and also the guys behind the scene, the other 2 coaches. We've got top quality coaches, those 2 guys who are backing him up.
If you're a top midfielder and you've got the chance to play under Lampard, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, if you want to be the best you can be, that'd be a no-brainer, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. This is from Technocrancy. This is a strange name. You have to write it phonetically or something. Had a feeling there was something up with Carr watching him this weekend. He didn't look happy. Dave Saunders says, when we get a new goalkeeper coach? Sky Blue 37. I bet Vic goes to United by Monday. That's why they have the Grimes.
No, he's not.
I don't think Man United have got the money to spend, to be honest.
But I think Amorim kind of promised he wouldn't take any players away until the summer when he left Sporting. Also, Gyok was out this week with a knee injury, so I'm pretty sure he definitely won't be going to Man United until the summer at the earliest, I think.
It was allegedly a knee injury, Steve. Apparently. That's what I'm saying. But PSG I'm just saying.
He's going to go and eat frogs' eggs.
I just come out with it.
You just come out of it. Oh man, just come out of it. Why don't you?
Anyway, Finn, what a signing! Grimes is very Pirlo-esque. Seeing a compilation of his passing skills, those killer through balls, just what we are missing. I mean, it's a positive move. This I did not expect. Only last week I was saying I actually don't care anymore. I don't think we're going to sign anybody. I actually thought that was it. We heard there could be a midfielder coming in. I didn't think it'd be somebody like this. I thought it'd be a under 23 or something, or nobody that's going to Ayari that wasn't going to shake things up enough for us. But this is a great signing for us. A really, really good signing. I mean, I had a message from Jack Saunders. He said it's probably come 12 months too late, unfortunately, because we could have done with him last year. Yeah, but better late than never.
Yeah. Steve, just going to say that you've been on here earlier on in the season, and we asked you, where do you think we need to turn it around? Where do you think what positions we needed to fill? This fills one of those positions that we've been crying out for all season, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously we've been leaking goals before the recent run, and you looked at our defence and thought they're all right. Thomas has done well. I really like Binks, and Kitchen hadn't been too bad. The problem was the goals were coming through the midfield. Nothing was stopping them, and the defence didn't have any confidence in the goalkeeper. Collins had a bit of a nightmare run. And I think the two factors have now changed. We've got Dovin, who's absolutely on fire. The defence seemed really comfortable that if it gets past them, Dovin will save it. And the midfield has shorn up a little bit because we're always creating chances. It's just we need to score 3 because we're going to concede 2. And I think we've turned it round now. And I think it's the midfield and the goalie of a massive difference. And Grimes is just going to add to that.
And bringing Grimes in, it means that at the moment, Frank doesn't have to change formation. He can still stick with the 3 at the back, can't he?
Yeah. I mean, Alan's done superb. Last 2 games, I think he's been excellent. Against Blackburn, I thought he was man of the match apart from Dovin. He was really good. But you're only going to get a stint of 3 or 4 games out of Alan. He will get injured. He will get tired. He's the stopgap for when people like Grimes, if he ever gets injured, or Sheaf, as is at the moment, ever gets injured. But like Kelly did last year, exactly the same as Kelly did. But Grimes will be playing week in, week out.
Which is what we need, definitely what we need. Before we carry on, just want to wish Bobby Thomas a happy birthday today. He's 24, so happy birthday, Bobby Thomas. Let's get Spot the Ball up again. Where are we? There we go. Spot the Ball. Get your guesses in, guys. Have a little go. A little prize up for grabs tonight. So if you want to have a little go on Spot the Ball, please do guess where it is and put your comments put your number in the comments. Let me get my teeth in again. So your number in the comments, Nick is writing it down, and you can win a little prize this evening. While we're doing that, if you're not doing anything, next Friday, 7th of February, the night before the FA Cup, 4th round against Ipswich, Woolsgrave Working Men's Club, Noel Whelan, a night with Noel Whelan, 7:30 p.m. Tickets available on the door at £10, or you can go onto their Facebook page or head over to Chris Baker's Facebook page and you can buy your tickets there, or just turn up on the night. Got to keep them working men's clubs going. Also, if you want coach travel for any away game, Get hold of ccfctravel.co.uk and you can book your coaches just there. And also home and away car parking, coventryparking.co.uk. Check out where they've got their parking around the country and you can go and park your car. But not only that, give us a like and subscribe, please. Be much appreciated. We're aiming for 2,000. We're about 230 away. So those people who just tuned in tonight for the first time, we know you're watching. We can see the count on the screen. Give us a subscribe, please, tonight. It'd be great. It'd be brilliant to get to 2,000. So thank you so much for all your support so far as well, guys. Right, let's carry on, Claudio.
Yeah, Lee Dan said Grimes has come because of Lampard money, and he knows Cov's got a damn good chance of top six. Gar 87, I think it's a brilliant signing. Maybe our time is coming. Do you think Sheaf will be going? I think some of we might see him go, actually. Marky Mark, shame about Carr. Thought he stepped up well after Mark Robins' departure. However, understand that he probably didn't fit in Lampard's vision. Wish him all the best. I think he was a stopgap until things settled down with the new coaches and everything. And that could have been agreed at the start when they brought in the new guys. These guys aren't out of work for long, are they? It'd be interesting because Dr. Clare might be in depression now because one of the two coaches is a performance coach as well, isn't he? One of the new coaches. And so it'd be interesting what's going to happen there as well. Anyway.
I heard a rumour today by somebody who watched the show. You'll like this rumour. This is going to get spread about social medias later. So, Steven Gerrard.
Oh, yeah, go on.
So he's coming home, Steven Gerrard.
Out of retirement.
He's coming home. He's coming home from Saudi. Wow, we need a fourth coach.
Oh dear.
Just saying.
Hollyoak. When Wright and MC are back, watch us fly. Paul Stratton. Hope this is Frank's choice. Fear Austin would have not have had him on the radar. To be honest, Grimes is an easy choice, isn't it? If you're looking for that kind of midfielder, you're thinking, who's the best in the league? Can we get him, yes or no? It's a simple question, isn't it, really? Comical boxer. Grimes will slot straight in, and his experience at this level will be available as a valuable asset. For 3.5 million, it could prove a shrewd bit of business. It is when he's got he'd only just signed a new contract in August. So a 3-year contract, I think. So it's a bizarre... Be interested to find out the background of all this. Why? That's interesting. Lee Beckett, 3.5 million will be paid over the term of the contract. Real's a possibility. I think we're going to stuff them on Saturday. I like it. Jack Saunders.
I like it. It'll be a good night at the Shepherd again.
Jack Saunders. Even though I reckon we draw at the weekend, Swansea for the drop. Because Hull City are dipping in the market again. I mean, last season, Hull City were loaning and buying players to try and go up. This season, they're buying and loaning players to stay up, aren't they? Complete opposite now. Luke Robinson, if you break the voodoo or the hoodoo, we get into the playoffs and get promoted. Gar 87, Hamer left after Wimbledon. He left the day before Middlesbrough. Then we won that 3-0. Wow, good point. But we didn't do okay. Liam was, I think this will fire up the Swansea team and it's going to be a very messy game. On the other, Claudio, Jamie Allen has been brilliant since he came back in. He's our new Messi. Does Grimes fit in for records? New Messi? Has he been drinking? New Messi. Oh dear. Paul Cuttifer, don't forget to tick the thumbs up, guys, to show your support for the team that put this show together. Oh, cheers, Paul. I wonder what you thanks very much. Finn, no doubt Grimes. Finn, no doubt Grimes will be Cov captain, but straight away or in time. We don't know, do we? George Connell, I'm hearing Grimes failed his medical of people involved at the club. No, you didn't. Honestly, the guy's not. Honestly,
He's not failed his medical.
he's not failed his medical. What a clown.
No.
On the up, Jay would be in charge of the midfield at Swansea. Even when he was on loan to Blackburn, Leeds, and Northampton, he didn't miss a game. It's ridiculous.
No, he's not failed his medical.
I'm touching wood. I am touching wood all over the place here because I feel I know what's going to happen as soon as he puts a Cov kit on. You know, it's. You're going to get the, I don't know, I've never had injuries all my life. I can't understand what's happening. It'd be that scenario, won't it? Lee Lishman, defeat or draw on Saturday for me. Don't think there'll be a big change in our fortunes, but a great player. I bet they'll draw it out to make sure he's not playing against the Swans on Saturday. I think it's like they can't do it legally, but these clubs do these sort of gentleman agreements, don't they? I was listening to the guy, the owner of chairman of Peterborough, and he said that when we were going to loan him back, they had to take us at our word that we would do the loan papers in time so they could loan it back. So they had to trust us to do it. If we hadn't done it, we didn't have to loan him back, you see. So there is a bit of this trust involved as well. And I think that's why he quite likes Doug King and the fact we paid so much for him. Doug Bolam, all this talk about MG never getting injured, I really hope you lot haven't jinxed him. I know. Wayne Ghost. It's about time we started putting these hoodoos to bed. We win on Saturday next season. It's the Preston's turn, assuming we're playing in the same league, of course. I was just thinking, imagine if Wrexham come up, Swansea stay in division, you got Cardiff as well. That's going to be chaos next season, isn't it? Lee Becker, players don't count in the 25-man squad. They don't, but I think we actually put them in the squad as part of the squad. This is what we've been saying. Lee Dan, yes, it's definitely a Lampard thing, Claudio. John Storer thinks we'll win 2-0 up the Sky Blues. Ryan Matthews, I'll read a couple more. And then Ryan Matthews, Grimes as a midfielder, it would make sense. He'd want to work with one of the best English midfielders ever in Frank Lampard before he retires. I think FL was the pull, to be honest. Victor Arsenal, Dave Saunders reckons. Dave McGee, why did we lose academy players to Man City for nothing? What's the point? It's like we're working for Man City. Really strange one. We haven't got a choice, have you? Hey? If somebody comes in, I mean, these clubs will approach the parents, and what are the parents going to do? They're just going to think they've got a brighter future at Man City. It's not like you can do. You can't force them, can you, to stay? Technocracy. We'll try that, sorry. Technocracy next. If anybody else can tell me how to say this differently, please tell me. Oh, yeah. Technocracy. There you are. Thank you. Technocracy next. The form of government we are heading for in the future under this Uber leader Musk. Oh, here we go. I will go back to Bomber Bidwell next week, Claudio. Right, okay. Got you now. Yeah,
he's Bomber Bidwell.
Yeah, that was a lot easier, mate. Trust me.
A lot easier. Just stop changing your name.
Yeah. James Hollyoak, it's great we have got someone who's been playing in this league at a very high level, who has the experience and can pass the ball. Nathaniel JNP. Binks is the highest paid in the team. Sad to see him on the bench. Is he, though? I'm surprised. I know.
Yeah, that's what people are saying is the highest paid player at the moment. But it's like, I don't know, but you hear some of these wages going around and you think, well, if these are the wages that we're paying, why the hell didn't we hold on to Hamer?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it is official and how much you can actually see. And where do you see the figures? Who on earth tells you what they're
I don't know.
Ryan Matthew J, another great thing, EMC officially back on the grass. 2, players coming back at the right time, feeling a lot more positive for the rest of the season. Plenty more guesses. Aaron Thomas, I think Jamie Allen deserves 1-year extension. All the injuries he's had and health problems, yet he still puts a shift in. But me and Mars have been saying, though, he's playing well. Obviously, he's had the chance to come back in again. But also, his contract's up. So is he playing for move as well? Is he hoping to get noticed? Or is he just playing to try and stay? So in some ways, it's all positive for us, isn't it? Because if it makes him play the way he's playing, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Brian Tully and Cov, ball number 14. Really excited about Grimes, especially after hearing that glowing reference from a Swansea fan.
It was a glowing
I'll read two.
reference.
I'll read two more. Hand back to you, Miles. Paul Stratton. We have now become an attacking team with Matt Grimes signing. Frank's way now. Sideways and backwards thick of the pass. High press now guaranteed. And Lee Dan says, who lines up alongside Grimes in our midfield then? Please give your opinions on this and how he'll affect our game going forward with his passing range and defensive qualities.
Okay, we'll come to you first, Steve. That question to you first. How do you think he's going to affect the team and who will play alongside him?
Is this with everybody fit, should we say?
No, as the team is now.
Right, okay.
Because you can't pick unfit players like Sheaf, can you?
No.
So let's say Saturday's game. Let's say next Wednesday's game against Leeds, because he's bound to play in that game. Who would you play with him in the middle, and how do you think he's going to affect our style of play?
Yeah, I think based on last weekend, Torp starts, doesn't he? And I think he impacts us, like the Swansea fans said, we'll be more solid going back, because I think we've been leaking goals because of the midfield and the goalie. So I think he kind of stops that. But in the playoff season, we were really good at breaking fast. And I think you need that in away games especially. And I think he's got that ball that Jamie Allen has started to find in the second half against Blackburn and pretty much throughout the game. Although we were on the front foot, I thought, against Watford. So he was kind of more of the Pirlo type character in that game, Allen. But I think, as Ben said, the Swansea fan, you'll shore us up in defence. And I think he can find that killer ball that Radoni's finding at the moment, but from further back.
Yeah.
And remember, Hamer used to spray it, didn't he? It's that kind of ball.
Yeah, and that's what we've been missing, isn't it? That sort of killer ball that if someone's like Milan running down the wing, or Jake Bidwell getting his nosebleed, getting up the wing, we've been missing that sort of diagonal ball from out of that midfield, haven't we? Yeah. And so you would play Torp in there with him?
At the moment, Torp's on fire from Saturday, so definitely. I know a lot of people will disagree with me now, but I really rate Eccles. He's a solid guy. I think he can make Grimes do the bit, and he does the less glamorous stuff. And I think all the time when we've been rubbish this season, and the players have sort of been 3 or 4 out of 10, Eccles has been a 5.5. I know that's not high praise, but he has been reasonably consistent when we've been really bad. And I think Eccles is a good lad, and let Grimes do all the stuff that everybody notices, and Eccles will just tidy up.
Yeah, and Vicky, come to you, answering that question. What do you reckon?
I think at the minute it's probably going to be Torp, hasn't it? I mean, I'm with Steve really, because I like Eccles as well. I think he's a young player that's getting better season after season, and I think it'd be a shame. It looks potentially like Lampard, is it going to let him stay around to develop any further, and he's maybe looking to move him on? I don't know. That just seems to be the vibe at the moment, which I think is a shame, because I think he's still got potential to grow even more. But I think at the moment, the player who's probably impressed the most in recent weeks, from where he was to where he's got in the sort of 3 victories, is Torp. Because I still wasn't entirely sure about him. It turned up in parts of games. It got like a decent shot on him, but it was just hit and miss. And he was one of the worst players for not being able to turn up on a midweek game if he'd had a good game on the Saturday. And I just wasn't entirely sure about him. But three performances in a row last week, and really, I suppose, shown what we must have seen in him when we brought him in. And I think at the moment, in that sort of form, got to keep him in, haven't you? And him alongside Grimes. I mean, I'm delighted that we've got Grimes in. I think that we spoke, haven't we, a few times about like what we would do in this transfer window and sort of ideals. And I think we'd always said that the one priority was that sort of midfield player. And I think, I mean, whenever you watch Swansea, he's one of those players that's like, well, if you watch the EFL generally, he's one of those players that stands out as someone that influences games, someone who's quality. And it wasn't somebody I thought we'd be bringing through the door. When you're thinking, what are the options? You're not thinking we're going to like pinch one of the best midfielders in the league off, who's a captain for another team, and they're going to sell him to us, because that's normally happens to us. That's not normally what we do to other teams, is it? So I'm delighted that's what we've been able to do here, because I think that's a cracking signing. I think it's one of those really key jigsaw pieces to our puzzle of a season, because we've got players there with ability, and I just think he's that player that can slot in, and like games are win and lost in midfield, and he is that player that can just control things, go deep to control that, and also going forward. I just think it's a cracking sign, and him and Torp's coming form. That's a decent midfield, that is, isn't it? That's something to get excited about.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Ben Sheaf injured. Obviously, if Ben Sheaf was fit, you'd have them. You'd have them both playing together like Ben did with Hamer. They were so good together, weren't they? That it could form that sort of partnership.
Claudio, I mean, it's difficult. Oh, sorry, just going to quickly say that. The trouble with Sheaf. The trouble with Sheaf. I mean, we haven't seen the best of Sheaf this season, which makes it difficult anyway, because you're thinking, well, he never really regained his form before he got injured again. So it's difficult to drop players that are playing so well for him, even though he is the player that we all were rooting to come back originally, because we know how good he can be, but he hasn't really shown that.
No.
And also just going on to Steve's point about Eccles, because Eccles played a big part with Hamer and Sheaf that season, doing like the dirty and notice work that people obviously didn't notice because they've forgot now, and they write him off. But he played a big part in that season, just doing like the groundwork to allow Sheaf and Hamer to do what they did best. And so I still think there's a role for him there. But
we just got to see if he gets fit and gets back to how he used to be. And maybe he's been feeling a bit low lately, and it can affect your body. And when you're feeling low, you can get injured quite easily. Because you're not mentally in the zone. Claudio, we taking credit for this then? Sky Blue Fans TV, yet again, we asked for a midfielder, we get a midfielder. You're on mute. Oh, God. That let it go out the window, didn't it?
No, I was going to say, I think we can take the credit. Why not? We've got more merchandise in the shop as well. So anyway,
hey, by the way, just talking about the club shop, if you haven't got the retro Talbot shirt, the red one, it's half price.
I saw that. Yeah.
£22.50. There you go.
What do I think? Now he plays. Well, I think there could be a formation change, because he normally plays with two holding midfielders. He's normally one of the two of the four midfielders who play at the back. So I was just looking at our lineup on Saturday, and I think, this is what I reckon could happen. Say he could play Saturday.
We're not taking it. No, we're not taking. We're going to go on to Leeds. Pick your team for Leeds.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if he was available. I'm looking at what played last week. So
okay.
Right. So I reckon he leaves Allen in the team. He brings Grimes in. So you got Allen and Grimes at the back, Torp and Radoni top of the box. That means you're going to have to lose somebody. So basically, Kitchen and Thomas play in centre defence. Latty drops out the team. Van Iver goes at right back. Bidwell goes at left back. And you leave two lads up front. That's what I think will happen. Box midfield. You got to remember, Frank likes a 4-3-3 as well. He's doing this out of necessity. He's said that, hasn't he? Because he's lost the two wingers. So, but I think with Grimes, actually, we've got a chance. We've got three different formations we could play now with the players we've got. We can swap it around a few times, which is good. It's nice to have an identity, isn't it? Where you think, well, we just play one way and that's it. But it's got to be good if you can play three different ways and play it well, surely. And with Grimes, I think that allows you to do that because he can play as a single midfielder in front of a back four. He can play in front of the back three, which allows maybe 3 midfielders to play in front of him. We can do one up top as well with him in the team. Obviously, not him playing one up top. He can change the formation around, but somehow it will get him in that team. So, but for Swansea, he plays with two holding midfielders, and he's one of them.
So do you think? So do you think that even though we've won 4 on the bounce, 3 in the league, that he will switch it back from the back 3?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Ooh.
At all.
Bit of a gamble, that, Steve. Do you think?
Possibly, but if he's going to stick with the same formation, for me, you've got to pick Binks instead of Latty. Especially the first half against Blackburn, we lost every header, and poor Latty's jumping, and he's up against someone who's like 2.5 foot taller than him. I like Binks, but yeah, I think we've got to change the formation. It's good to freshen it up, otherwise you get sussed out. So I think you're right. Frank might well go to the 2 centre halves, but either way, Latty drops out for me. Whether it's because of the formation or whether it's direct replacement by Binks.
Okay, thank you. Right, let's get some more comments in then, because we answered Lee Dan. Lee Dan, thanks for that comment. That was good. That like that.
Right. Bear with me. It's just jumped a bit. We'll go from here. Results. Nation Radio Coventry. Results have turned since Jamie Allen has come back. Steve McGovern, our form turned around playing Allen, give him a contract extension. Hi, big Coventry fan from Ireland. That's Ellen. Oh, no, I'm not reading that. No. Can anybody read Gaelic? Come on, you're doing me in tonight.
How annoying. Ella. Is that just say Ella?
Just say Ella.
Yeah. Hello,
James,
Ella. And give us a subscribe. Give us a subscribe on YouTube.
James Oak says, or could say, since Eccles hasn't started. So that's interesting what Steve was saying. Frank Lampard doesn't fancy Josh Eccles. He just doesn't play him.
No.
He'll play very little. He's obviously seen something that he's not happy about. So he'll be playing him. Doug Boland, blimey, we've got now Messi and Rodri playing for us now. Wayne Vaughan, Watford didn't score. Kitchen did as his shot was going wide. He's making a reference because Nation Radio says took him off against Watford last week. Then Watford scored, but yeah, it was an awful. I mean, it's a terrible shot, wasn't it? It was going way wide. Luke Robinson says, Steve, what's Steve Fry's best away day?
No, not even talking about it. No.
Is it rated, is it?
Yeah, it's the Darmstadt WhatsApp group. I think I almost crashed the internet when I said I like Eccles. They've gone mad on it.
That's good. Say things that you know are going to upset people. It helps the algorithms. Well done, Steve. You're getting the hang of this now.
The other good thing that's come out of this week is that F1 Mason Clark's on the pitch, kicking a ball around, which is brilliant. The reason I say that, Finn's come up and said, "What the hell is happening to when's Hadji back?" Well, we don't know. We don't know. After the January transfer window, I suppose.
I mean, we've not seen nothing of Raphael either, have we? That's really
been on twice and kicked the ball once, I think.
Yeah. John Storer, going to be a strong team with EMC and Haji Wright come back. Also, Sheaf back. We need to stop playing one up front, go with 2 up top. I must admit, I do like 2 up top. On the up, rather have Hamer back when he worked better with Jamie Allen than O'Hare.
Do you know what though, Claudio? You say you prefer 2 up top. It's amazing how football changes because the season we won the playoffs. won the playoffs, got into the playoffs. Sorry, the season we got into the playoffs, we all kept saying on here and week in week out, we're saying we really like one up top. We like one up top because of the way Vic worked. It was one up top because it worked because of the way Vic's work ethic was just unstoppable, and you could do it. You could do it with the one up top. Now we're saying we need two up top because Vicky's favourite player, Sims, needs someone alongside him, which totally understand. And you can see the difference over the last few weeks when he's got someone alongside him. He can hold the ball up and lay it off. The only thing is he can't jump. I'd love to give him some springs in his boots to get him up in the air. But, you know, it's mad how we all change our minds over certain years and over certain seasons.
I just
about
think
the players you've got, isn't it? It's the players you've got and what the best for them, I think, isn't it? We're a bit old school as well, Claudia, that we used to, we grew up with two up front, and that's like what you're used to.
Yeah. And also, we currently, though, I mean, the thing is, we could go one up top because we've currently got midfielders who are running. I can't believe the amount of midfielders we're getting in the box. I actually love that part, which has definitely changed. We had never had that under Mark Robbins. You can see it. They're getting in the box. Torp would not have scored that goal in November. They just weren't doing it. They basically stopped at the 18-yard line, hoping the strikers would do it. And I think you can do one up top if you've got midfielders going in the box like they're doing now, which is what they need to do. So like I said, we've got options, haven't we? It's looking a lot better in that terms. Michael Summer says, I'll get this up because it's a long one. I have to say, until now, I never knew Grimes was such a good player. If he's good as what people are saying, or just someone who has brilliant stats. Yeah, but I think the stats speak for themselves. It's one of those, isn't it? Paul Stratton, no-brainer, Redonian Tora. West Handley, do we have a new chef? Because whatever Alan has been given, I want some.
Yeah, 3 of them a day, isn't he?
Bomber Bidwell, I'm doing it already. I'm doing it well. I don't care what he's called now. Reference is there is an AI news website called Football League World that put player wages news out every month for clickbait. News on that site generated with AI. That's technocracy. Yes, it's and it's so. What I find really funny is that we were told the medical was this morning. Yet somebody on Twitter yesterday, it's happening tomorrow. Yesterday. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. It's happening Thursday. There's no one around on Wednesday because it's a day off for a start. So it's not going to happen Wednesday.
No.
And I thought, somebody sees it and go, well, it's got to be true. Someone will put it on Twitter from some random football site that no one's heard of. So I think, whatever. It's going to be announced Thursday morning. It's not. And then I start looking at things thinking, no, definitely not. It's not going to be announced. I know it's not going to be announced. But you still look, don't you? Because you think it's going to be announced because somebody else said it's going to be announced.
You know, the funny thing is, we've done all this now about Matt Grimes, and tomorrow he's not signing. He's gone to Leeds.
We'll do another show saying what a git he is then. Matt Slimes. West Handley, do you think any more incomes or maybe outgoings? I've got to say, with Doug King, that time he said about not wanting to let the cat out of the bag, you don't know, do you? Because he's pulled a fast one here, hasn't he, Miles? I mean, no one knew about this.
No, well, we no one knew about this. It is a curveball that come out of nowhere. We did hear rumours last week that there was some signs of a midfielder, but we didn't know who it was, where he was coming from, what country he was coming from. But he is coming across the border. I think he's got a valid passport to come into England, so he should be all right. Yeah, it was a curveball, definitely.
Oh, Steve does it every week. He sneaks in across the border, don't he, from Wales?
His mate his mate hides him in the boot, didn't you know?
I was thinking this when I bumped into you last week at Christ the King. We were chatting, and I thought there's some nights or some days where I just think, oh, come on then, let's get up the CBS. And I don't know how you can do it if we're on a bad run coming all the way from Wales. That must be tough.
Well, to be honest, I do about 10 or 12 games a year, but Steve Maloney and Colin Power are season ticket holders, and they come up every single game. I don't know how they do it. My wife won't let me. Basically, I'm not allowed. But yeah, I don't know how they got it. Must have had it into the nuptials. I'm coming up to Cov every week. You know, do you take me and my club to be your local?
Brilliant.
I thought I could hear some chains rattling. Is that your feet moving with the chain and ball around it?
She's a thumb mark there.
I just find it incredible. I've gone on about it before, haven't I? About all the fans who travel from miles and miles away, when local people can't be asked to make the effort, and you got people travelling 200, 300-mile round trips.
Yeah, crazy,
coming down from the middle of Scotland. Somebody does every home game.
But what about young Robert gets the ferry over every other week now? To come from the Isle of Wight, travels up, stays the night and goes back the next day. Sometimes he goes back the same day. He's coming up for Leeds, bless him, and he needs to meet you, Claudia. He wants to have a photo with you for some reason. I don't know why. But he's coming up for the Leeds game, and he's stopping over all week and the weekend because he's here for the Ipswich game as well, bless him. So he's doing a good stint.
Ian, who comes from France, it's they need to be looked after, these people, as far as I'm concerned, by the club, well and truly looked after. I think it's fantastic.
I reckon they should get VIP treatment of the last home game of the season. All the people that travel more than 200-mile round trip, they should have a VIP treat at the end of the season.
Well, at least have 2 balcony seats.
Yeah, have 2 balcony seats, whatever, anything. Yeah. They do. Look at Mark White coming all the way from Ipswich as well. You've got those from Scotland. You got a couple that come down from Blackpool. There's a few fans in Blackpool that come down. Cornwall. There's lads in Cornwall that travel up. It's
from Ireland as well. There's someone I see on Facebook most weeks. They're always like checking in at the airport, like some ridiculous hour flying over. There's like all sorts, isn't there?
Yeah, Ireland.
Yeah, it's a great effort, but it's still not having my seat in the box.
No, mine.
Oh yeah, I'm having your seat, Miles.
You can have it next time. I'll tell you what, though, it was nice. It was nice and warm standing behind the doors while I was through the glass.
And hopefully they'll keep playing the Sky Blue song at the next home game. Let's hope they do it.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I think if you lived in some of these places like Wales, you'd appreciate going up to Deepdale to lose is a bit of light relief.
Steve, you got to move. While we're talking about Wales, Swansea fans coming down for the game, where can they go for a drink?
Oh, the Queen's Hotel, not that place you told us, Miles. We almost got lynched.
What place? I didn't tell you anywhere to go.
You did a couple of years ago. You remember the bus got delayed because it was the bank holiday weekend? You lot got delayed. Left us in this. We were in this pub. We've been there since 11:30, which was fine. Yeah. And then all the Swansea lot turned up, and I said to Tom, "Let's get out of here quick." But it was grim. But we went to the Queen's Hotel, which is down on the bay, and there was quite a few Cov fans. The London Cov fans were all there. It's a really good pub. And I think the London Cov fans gave it away Pub of the Year. They actually presented the award to them last season. The only thing is, it's the opposite way to go from the train station to the ground. So you need to get an Uber or something like that from the Queen's Hotel. to the ground, but it's not too bad.
So is that on the dock of the bay?
Yeah, that's the one.
What
And
are you
definitely
sitting
not
at?
that one you said, the Carpenter's Arms. Oh, my God.
There was no wrong with that the year before. There's no wrong with it the year before. It was fine.
I think the whole pub was singing 3-0 and we messed it up. You know, it was just after that. So it wasn't great.
Brilliant. So if you want to go to a pub, it's called the Queen's Hotel, and you can sit on the dock of the bay. There you go.
On the marina.
In all fairness, Steve, with your accent, as long as you've not got colours on, you could get away with it. You just should have joined in the singing. They wouldn't have known, would they?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we can't disguise that. If it was us in there, we've got no chance.
I think we had our sky blue top song because we felt confident because we 11:30. It was quite quiet.
I'll tell you what, it was full of Cov fans the year before. That's all I can say.
Right. Ryan Matthew J says he'll think there'll be a formation change to 4-3-3. Gippo, Claudio, you're a stats man. Latti has been our best defender for aerial duels won and controlling possession and passing, which surprised me, to be fair. Gareth Wilson, not just Jamie Allen, Kitchen's reintroduction into the team has made a difference. It's true. Paul Stratton, Swansea, I see us unchanged. Leeds, Grimes in for Allen, Binks for Latti. Far more aggression at the back. I mean, what a time. If you come straight in to have Grimes in for the Leeds game, that'd be great, actually. Already you think we're
beating Leeds. We're beating Leeds. We're beating them.
Did anybody watch the game against Burnley on Monday? Wasn't it?
5 minutes and so I got bored.
Wasn't it dreadful? Burnley are horrible. Absolutely. They've had 6-0 draws at home this season.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You think sometimes. I mean, like, obviously Burnley have success and they'll probably go up again. And you're just thinking, who wants to watch football like that week in, week out? I mean, it's just dire, isn't it?
Yeah. Claudia, can I just bring a comment up?
Of course you can.
Wayne Vaughan, Claudio probably reminds him of his great granddad. And Martin says there's a bloke that comes from the Isle of Man every home game and away. There you go. Right. Reminds you of his great granddad.
A good job I can take this, isn't it? After the end of the show, I'm going to be crying on my bed. I will. Lee Dan says, I'll put this up because it's a long message. Lee Dan says, Lampard has been a breath of fresh air. His results for us are excellent. I loved it when Lamps did the fist pumps with the fans after the Watford game. He's really taken to us and vice versa. Doug Bolam says, that's how it should be, Steve. Club before marriage. You say that, Doug, but it cost me a house the first time round. You know what I'm saying? It's flipping expensive. Mark Patman, evening guys from sunny Cornwall. What a great buy, Matty Grimes, experienced midfielder with a class pass to his game. Have you seen him on YouTube? Wow. Well, just Mark, I just want to reply to Mark's comment. Claudio doesn't watch the YouTube clips because it can make anybody look fantastic. You don't have to bring that up every time. Oh, dear. Unless it's Matty Grimes. He better have first game. He better have a good game. Else we're going to look stupid, aren't we? On the up, Miles should get good treatment as he travels from Banbury.
Oh, you shut up! I'm nowhere near Banbury.
Gordon Tullier Art says, "I have to walk from Holbrooks."
You need armory to walk up through Holbrooks.
On the up says, "My brother comes from Portugal."
Wow.
No. Oh, yeah, not every week, though, Martin. We're on about every week. You don't come every week.
Mark
I
Packman.
worry about him sometimes, so I really do worry about his comments.
Mark Packman, even guys from sunny Cornwall. What a great buy, Matty Grimes, experienced midfielder with a class pass to his game. Have you seen him on YouTube? Well, we have, yes. And it's amazing how good some of these players look on YouTube.
Well, we have, but Claudio hasn't because he don't believe in it.
Good Poland reckons that Gordon Tully, absolute legend, statue next to Jimmy Hill for walking from Holbrooks. I think the answer to this is April. By the way, guys, when is this new statue? Is it May now?
May.
So in May.
But what I'll do, I'll message Joe and I'll get an update for everybody for Sunday night show. Is that all right? I'll give him a message and see what the update is about the statue and see where we are and when the unveiling's going to be. So yeah, stay tuned.
What is going on tonight? This is sort of my little Grandpa, we love you.
It makes a change in taking the mickey out of Sims, taking it out of you tonight.
I know quite a few granddads who are faster than Ellis Sims. Anyway, Paul Stratton, when Hadji EMC fit tat starts, we go 4-3-3, press high and score for fun. Ralph Wiggins, water off a duck's back to you, Claudia. You can take it. Is this called falling tonight? Is that what it's called?
Martin's just put, he says, we never lose when Pete comes over from Portugal. I think you find we do. We have lost when Pete's been over. So come on, don't be daft now. Right, let's get Spot the Ball up. Okay, we'll get the answer out very, very soon. Last chance to enter Spot the Ball. Loads of people watching tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Absolutely amazing. Please give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It'd be much appreciated. We love doing these shows every week, every couple of times a week. And don't forget, we are thinking about changing our shows. If we play on a Tuesday night, we're thinking about moving it to a Wednesday and vice versa. So let us know what you think about that idea. I think it would work quite well, to be honest. And if you want us to do that, we will do that for you. So if you are new watching tonight, please give us a like and subscribe. Be much appreciated. And you can win a prize tonight. Spot the Ball. Where is it? Got Jack Rodoni on the pitch, falling over in front of Watford player. Who is that Watford player? Number 39. You know, but he's falling over and there's 15 numbers to choose from, so have a little go on that. Also, if you haven't already heard, Walsgrave Working Men's Club a week tomorrow, 7th of February, 7:30, £10 entry. Noel Whelan, an evening with Noel Whelan. Head over to Chris Baker's Facebook page or the Walsgrave Working Men's Club Facebook page. Buy your tickets on there, but you can pay on the night. So if you want to go along on the night, you can pay on the night. On the up, 1 or 2 tickets to go there. On Spot the Ball last week, so he will be getting those tickets this week before Friday, and he can head along to that event as well. If you want any parking for home or away, head over to coventryparking.co.uk and you can book your parking. If you haven't got any parking for Saturday, then head over to there and you can get yourselves booked in. And Coach Travel as well, ccfc travel.co.uk. Now, a couple of events happening this weekend. If you're not going to Swansea and you want to come and get drunk on Friday night, because Dry January is out the window now. It's finished. Okay, so this Friday, no, wrong one. I'm at the Old Clarence in Elsdon. Come along. Doing a disco this Friday. First time at the Old Clarence, going to be once a month. So why don't you pop down and see us? Come and have a drink with me. If you want to, you can have a go on the decks. I'll let you have a little spin on the decks if you want. And we can have a chat about the Sky Blues, sing a few songs to the music playing. And I'm sure we'll be playing We'll Live and Die in These Towns. And Saturday night, if you're bored as well, 1st of February, I'm at the Old Shepherd again. Yes, Kersley, Coventry. DJ Milesy, come and join us. It's a cracking night, and just come down, say hello. As I say, both pubs are going to be packed full of Cov fans, and there'll be a few travelling Sky Blue Army in there after the Swansea game as well. So there you go.
The 39 is Kayembe.
Oh, there you go, Kayembe. There you have it. So have we got
Q on his shirt?
It what?
It said Mr. Q on his shirt.
Yeah, it said it did say Mr. Q on his shirt.
Steve, can you leave the jokes to us, please? Just don't. You can't come on here and start being Max Boyce or somebody like that. Who's the other guy from Wales? Rob Ryder. Oh, Rod Gilbert. Anyway,
Go on.
sorry. No, I was just saying, Mick reckons I should stay in the box now because we keep winning. Lee Dan, if Claudio had a beard, he'd look like Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses. Paul Stratton says Grimes could be more influential. Grimes could be more influential than Gus. Exciting times at last. And Dave McGee, Miles, I fancy a beer, fancy a pint. Yes, January. Haha, be nice to go to Ilston where I was born. We'll pop in and go and see him. Audio says, I'll put this up because there's plenty here to 4231 Dovin, MVE, Thomas Kitchen, Bidwell, Grimes, Torpor Sheaf, Sakamoto, Rodoni, EMC, Wright, when everyone is fit. Exciting stuff. It's Steve. Finn says, is Steve anywhere near Crofty? I have family there.
No. Southeast Wales.
Southeast Wales. Where's Crofty then?
I don't know. I've never heard of that unless you're talking about the cricketer.
No, he's on about, hi Steve, anywhere near Crofty? I have family there.
I don't know Crofty. Never heard of that.
They are.
It's not got any double L's. Can't be
It's
Wales.
It's that ball and chain. He's not allowed out the house. He wouldn't know where it is, would he?
One more radius.
Yeah, that's right, Vic.
Dark farts. I come down from Cannock. What a long, lonely trip. I'm surrounded by Warsaw, Wolverhampton supporters. People are surprised when I asked what team I follow. I mean, it's true, isn't it? Because you do a long away trip, it's bad enough, isn't it? And when you've lost, and even on a coach full of people, it's just so miserable, isn't it? It's even worse in the car if you're on your own. But if you're doing it every other weekend and you're having a bad run, it's miserable, isn't it, Steve? You know, you just think what ifs all the time, aren't you?
Yeah.
But right, back to you, Miles.
Right then, let's get spot the ball. Let's get the answer, and we will see who is going to win tonight. Now, there is a lot of correct answers this evening. I have seen lots of correct answers, and I know Vicky's been writing them down. So here we go. So what we're going to do, because there is a lot of winners, we'll get Vicky to put a number next to them all, and then Steve, you can pick a number, okay? And that will give us the winner this evening. So here's your spot the ball. There you go. Sky Blues versus Watford. Rodoni falling over. 1 to 15. And the winner is number 4.
Number 4.
There you go. Number 4 this evening. So we'll let Vicky top them all up and see who we have got and how many we have got. So that's really good. So going on then to Saturday, are you feeling confident, Steve, or do you think we're going to just, as you said, a draw?
Yeah, I mean, everything's on the up, isn't it, for us, and everything's on the down for them. Going into an away game expecting a win is we've been there before and you always get disappointed. I'm trying to play my own expectations down because if there's only one game we win this season, I'd like it to be this one, But those voodoos, you could see it. You could see it against Blackburn when they were knocking on the door in the first half. They'd given it everything, and they didn't score. Dovin was everywhere, and you could see them look like we do at Deepdale when they said, "Oh, it's bloody Coventry again," just like we do with Preston. And I think the voodoo took effect, and we grew with confidence, and they thought, "Oh, it's this bloody Coventry again." And I think we're the same against Preston. And we haven't got a great record in Swansea. So I'm going to go for a draw and hopefully be pleasantly surprised, but every reason for optimism, definitely.
I mean, you say that though about, that we have, you go into the game and you got a voodoo over your head and things like that. But each year they're different players. You know what I mean? They're different. It's a different team each year that plays there. Surely they don't look at records at those grounds. Do you think they look at the record?
I know that's right, but going back to that Blackburn game again, it was as if the fans, the whole stadium thought, "Oh, it's bloody Coventry. We're never going to beat them." And it translates onto the field then. So I think it's the fans and the lack of belief in the stadium that just comes across the players. And you know what would happen if Preston go 1-0 up at Deepdale. We all go, that's that for a day. You know the whole crowd is saying that, and the players get that sense as well, I think.
Yeah. I
mean, we're going to do it now.
I mean, I always say if I'm high up at Preston and we go 1-0 down, I normally say I'm going to go and get a bottle. I'll look at the steps and go, "Nah, I ain't going down there." I'm going to need oxygen by the time I get back up there. Claudio, this voodoo's got to end, surely.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miles. But football's bonkers. I don't know why we have these records. Not just us, other clubs. Like Nottingham Forest hadn't won at Anfield since 1968 or something. Then they finally win there. And they did the same at Old Trafford, didn't they? Totally out of the blue, unexpected. Like you mentioned, Blackburn, Steve. If you'd have said, out of all the Championship clubs, which club have we gone to and not lost than the last 8 games, you would not pick Blackburn Rovers, would you? But yeah, our last 9 games now, we've not lost at Blackburn, which is incredible. Going back to, I think the last time we lost, Chris Sutton scored the winner. Yeah, it's that long ago. It's crazy, isn't it? So I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I've said it before. Barnsley, since 1921, they've not won in Coventry. It's just, and we've played a fair few times. And with these records, just crazy records, which for some reason it just happens in football. I mean, I'd love it if we win. Of course, I'd love it if we win Saturday, but it's that mindset. You're thinking, "Oh no, we just got a rubbish record there," and you think the best we'll get is a draw. On paper, the way things are going, they've lost 6 out of the last 7, I think, or 5 out of the last 6. They're having a right old bad time. They are. So really, this is the best time in a long time to be playing Swansea at whatever their stadium's called now. So
Swansea.com stadium.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Swansea. I mean, they should get hammered just for calling the stadium that.
But you got to think that the last 2 games were drawn down there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Mark Roberts used to say we're getting better. I know he was on about that, didn't he? When we drew there, he said we've got better. We lost there, then we got. But I'm thinking, but you need to win. So maybe you're right, Miles. This could be it. This could be the one. Finally,
and you can see that things are starting to turn. And I mean, Claudia, we said it last week. It's walking up to the ground. It's a tough call to win 3 games on the bounce in the space of 8 days in the Championship. We are now going into probably the 5th game in 3 weeks. Hopefully getting another win on top of a real heavy 8 days ahead with, Saturday. It's going to be a heavy pitch because the pitch isn't brilliant. Leeds midweek, then Ipswich. I think for me, if it was me, I'd want 3 points Saturday. I want 3 points Tuesday, and I don't mind about the FA Cup. Although I would love another FA Cup run as well, because I just think it breathes confidence into the team.
And you're right. When we walk up to the ground saying it's hard, winning 3 games is difficult. Winning 4 games is difficult, obviously. And I said it's quite easy to lose 3 or 4 games in a row in this division, and that's where Swansea are.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, we should be in the ascendancy big time here. And they might be thinking, if we let a goal in, we're going to get hammered today. And I think it's a bit like we went to Huddersfield with was it Warnock went back and we hammered them 4-0, didn't we? And no one expected that because they were struggling big time, and we did them over, didn't we? Good and proper, and then they improved. I mean, this is the same here. I think really we should, with what's gone on the last few weeks, go there full of confidence. How can you not be confident when we just signed as well the best midfielder in that position in this division? Surely, as a squad, you must be thinking, "Hey, up, come on, boys."
Yeah,
that's what I'd be feeling. There's no reason why we can't win on Saturday. No reason whatsoever. I'm going to do the pre-match speech, I reckon. And end it with, well, as you know, lads, it's going to be a draw.
Vicky, we'll come to you, and then we get the winners off here. We have got to be looking at winning this, haven't we? Got to be ending this voodoo.
Yeah, you think so, don't you? I mean, like the Stephen Cloudy just alluded to, like we're on a great run of form, and you can just see the confidence flow back to the players again that we knew were better than some of the performances early in the season. We've seen that they can be better, and that enjoyment for football and that confidence is flowing. And so we could take that there. And obviously Swansea, on the flip side of that, they've had a nightmare of a few games where they're just not even just losing like 1-0 something. There's been some bad defeats there, like heavy defeats and sort of poor performances. And there's obviously some general unrest within the club. And I think someone said earlier about when we lost Hamer and then we played Middlesbrough and won 3-0. But that was at home, and there was a really positive atmosphere around the ground, almost like the fans sort of recognised that for the players it was going to be difficult and that we had to support them through that game. And so the fans turned up, the players turned up, and we sort of managed to get past the fact that we'd lost Hamer and it was a difficult time. It doesn't really feel like Swansea are going to be doing the same. Like there's so much unrest within their club, but their fans and their players are going to unite to deal with the loss of a key player for them. I'm not sure that it sounds like they will be, and in which case that's something else that we can take advantage of, isn't it, really? That their sort of key talisman sort of been taken away. And so, I mean, it's the opportunity, isn't it? And I think if we don't give it a good shot, we're going to kick us out, really, because this is probably the best time for a while that we've had a good opportunity to go down there and get that result and sort of end that silly curse.
Yeah, and I think the weather is going to be a lot better as well than it has been recently. So hopefully, that can play a big part in the way we play. We have got loads of messages still coming in. We'll just get a few more in just a sec. But let's give the winner of Spot the Ball then, Vicky. How many have we got? I think we've got about 10, haven't we?
No, because some people were putting the answer down twice, and you can't have it twice. But so there were seven. There were seven people.
Okay.
Who actually, seven.
Okie doke. So, have you numbered them all?
I have numbered them all.
Excellent. Steve, pick a number.
3.
Number 3. Nina of Cov. Nina, is that what it says? Can't read my own writing now. I think it's Nina of Cov.
Nina of Cov. Congratulations, Nina of Cov. You are a winner of Spot the Ball this evening. We'll get a prize to you. What you got to do, if you can message us on YouTube or you can message us on Facebook or Twitter, send us your name, address, and we'll get a prize out to you. If you're local, we'll kind of deliver it to your door. If not, we'll post it out to you and we'll get the prize out to you. So some teeth in again. So congratulations, you've won Spot the Ball this evening. Right, there's a couple of comments I just want to bring up. Finn's put Claudio has a touch of Dustin Hoffman to him, and not Rain Man. And James Hollyoak, you mean Tootsie?
I can't do it, Dustin Hoffman. Oh, Mrs. Robinson. You shouldn't be doing that, Mrs. Robinson.
That sounds like Sean Connery more than Dustin Hoffman.
That was Dustin Hoffman doing Sean Connery. And I prefer this one. Nick Davenport is either drunk or he's got very good eyesight. He thinks I look like Henry Winkler, i.e. the Fonz from Happy Days.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, man.
I really like my Dustin Hoffman impression. I'm really disappointed.
Lee Beckett's come on. He says 184 watching on YouTube, although there is 1,367 people watching at the moment. I don't know where they all are, but 65 likes. Come on, people, hit that like button. Oh, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? If you can all those people that are watching, please head over to, if you're not watching on YouTube, head over to YouTube, Sky Blue Fans TV. There's loads of content on there from the last few years, but also the Coventry City History podcast with Claudio and Jim Brown, but with special guests on there. Carl McFadzine's on there with us. We've got Gary Thompson on. We've got who else we got on? Tommy Hutch is on with us as well. They're all on there. So that's all our back catalogue. So if you want to go back, watch any of the shows, please do head over to YouTube, give us a like and subscribe. And there's some great content. Really is some great content. And you'll see how far we've come in 3 years. It's unbelievable where we've come from 3 years ago or 4 years ago now, all the way up to the present day. It's just mad how things have changed, and it's just gone. And we couldn't do it without you guys watching us. We really, really enjoy doing these shows. So we really want to say thank you to all of you. Steve, what time are you getting there Saturday?
I'm not going Saturday. My youngest lad is in Wales. It's the British University Cross Country Championships, and it's happening in Cardiff.
Nah.
So I've got to watch my youngest lad.
No, you ain't.
I'm up for the Ipswich game.
You're not. You can't go and watch your lad, mate. You got to go and watch the Sky Blues.
Yeah, you're going to see him once he runs past you.
Yeah, no.
Only got rid of him 2 weeks ago, but he's back in Wales.
I want to say thank you to Tom sitting next to you tonight, Invisible Tom. How is Tom?
He's good. Conceived in Swansea, born in Coventry. This is his derby, isn't it? This one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is definitely. Lee Beckett says, "Can we get Matt SB on one night?" We would love to, Lee. I think I've messaged him before to come on, but he never got in touch. So if you're friends with him and you can ask him for us, it'd be fantastic. It would be good to get Matt SB on. It'd be fantastic. But Steve, so you're not going, but you're up for Ipswich. You're not coming up for Leeds?
No.
No?
Why don't let me? Midweek.
Oh, blimey. It's going to be a quick week at work next. Hey, guess what, guys? Got some great news. I start 4 days a week next week at work. Get in.
4 days part-time.
4 days. Get in. Wow, chuffed. What was that? On the up, does anyone on the panel go apart from Vicky?
To where?
To the games.
Oh.
He's in the box. Did you mean I'm not the only one that goes in the proper seat?
He's on one tonight. Vicky, my cousin's on one tonight, I tell you.
Did you not get him a Christmas card this year or something?
Yeah, I did get him a Christmas card. And I gave him a hug for Christmas. What more does he want?
Oh, look. Wait a minute, I need to share this one.
Leader. Hat trick for Sim. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So,
thanks, you.
Well done, Lee. Love it. Now, don't forget then, guys, before we go, tickets for Noel Whelan next Friday. Get on it. Car parking, coventryparking.co.uk. Home and away. So get your tickets, get your car park booked in. Coaches, ccfctravel.co.uk. And This Friday, come and see me down at the Old Clarence in Earlsdon. And Saturday, come and see me at the Old Shepherd, Kersley. Yes. Can't wait. It's going to be brilliant.
Miles, could I just say thank you to Bomber Bidwell for the history. Yeah, thanks for that. The history podcast with Jim. There is a new one out this week. Also, Matty Godden, he's going to see if he can get clearance from Charlton to come on, because obviously he's a live player as such. When Fads came on, he'd already left Blackburn. We knew that. That's why he was on. But he's got to clear it with Charlton to see that he can come on. There's not going to be a problem. And yeah, if you can listen to the history podcast, that'd be great. Also, the skybluearchive.co.uk, and there's going to be some new features coming up where you'd be able to put your memories in. Some I put forward to Jim, and I think they're going to do it where anybody can put your Sky Blue memories, so we can archive it all. And I think it'd be a good idea because it'll get people going back to the site as well and look at the other stuff that's on there. So I just wanted to say that. But they've worked really hard to get it going. And one day, hopefully, we'll get this museum, which is what we're really trying to do.
It would be brilliant if we got a museum, or we could get an event going at the Herbert and we could host question time with some historians, couldn't we? That'd be good.
Just to say, Paul, that's not me. I don't know who Vicky from Eastern Green is. I don't know if she says anything controversial, but it's not me.
I've got to say, Vicky, some of your comments on social media are brilliant. There's quite a few where you think somebody needs shutting down here, and then Vicky comes on and writes an essay, and then there's no reply.
I like an essay.
Shuts them down, and you read it. It's concise, it's precise, it's bang on every time. I mean, I might have said it in 2 words, one starting with F, and the other one no. But no, Vicky writes a proper message and a proper reply. And really good every time.
Oh, thanks, Claudio.
Every time, really good.
Very good indeed. Right, that's come to the end of the show tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. It's been brilliant. Going to go off now, get ready for the weekend, and hope the Sky Blues can bring 3 points home. I know it's a tall ask, 75 years without a win down in Swansea, but records are there to be broken, and it could be a 4th league win on the bounce. Are we going to make the playoffs? It's tight. You never know. We've only got to go on a little run now. Win Saturday, win on Wednesday. Whoa, then we are really talking, aren't we? Hey, you imagine that. Anyway, thank you so much. Hey?
I said, stop it.
You've stopped me in my flow now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steve, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, and forget the cross country. Get down to Swansea Saturday. Vicky, thank you so much for taking time out tonight. I know you're busy with all your work and everything. Thank you so much. And Claudio, Dustin Hoffman, aka Sean Connery impression. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I'll see you on Sunday.
It's unbelievable. Right, we're gonna go. I'm leaving you. I'm off for a busy weekend DJing. I'll see you all later. Big play up, Sky Blues, and thank you so much for watching Sky Blue Fans TV. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Take care, Sky Blues.
PSUB, yeah, play up Sky Blues.
I am.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.